Previously on A Court of Thorns and Roses.
You wanna hang out with me?
No.
Hey Lucian, fancy meeting you here.
Hey, wanna hang out with me and I'll tell you all of my secrets?
Yeah!
A leeching cold creeps by. Feyre's horse stiffens while she maintains a neutral demeanor. The cold thing weaves around them, yet always stays within their periphery. Its hollow voice whispers how it'll crush their bones, just really f them up. I am the fear, I am the night, look at me, look at me, look. During this, Feyre dissociates, while that funky little bugger recites the whole B-movie script to garner a response. But this thing's got a worse attention span than me on a good day, barely making it out of the opening scene before calling it quits and sashaying away. The chilly boy is gone, and everyone can relax. Feyre is all, what the hell? And Lucian says that was a bogey, a creature that can only kill when it's brought into existence via acknowledgement. And Feyre's like, yep, that's spooky alright. Just what I expected out of fairyland. Ha 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 ha. The two continue their meandering for another hour. By that time, Feyre's collected herself enough to resume her story lore questioning from last chapter. You say you're old, but like, how old? With your sword and readiness to take patrolling shifts, were you a warrior? Did you fight in the war? Shit, how old do you think No, wait, don't answer that. I can fight, but not as well as Tamlin. He then goes on to tease whether she wants him to teach her swordsmanship, or is her mighty mortal huntress already proficient? You only need to know where to aim, LOL. Lucian sobers up. I suppose if you knew what Andros was, you hateful cowards would shrivel up and want to die, huh? When Feyre doesn't immediately clap back, he sighs. God, Feyre, are you always so serious and dull? She does manage to call Lucian a prick and regrets it, knowing she should be dead for that. But he takes amusement in her retort. Much better. Yep, guess Alice wasn't wrong after all. Okay, I don't know if this is Moss's attempt to uphold the Fae's general mercurial temperament, but Lucian lightened up to his friend's killer awfully quick. Like, he plays cordial so convincingly that I'm torn between him also being sus and playing a long game, or him genuinely not caring and just going with Tamlin's flow, cause what's the point of being antagonistic, man? Either way, this has been such smooth sailing for Feyre so far. Hardships are gonna strike any day now, right? Scene break, and it's now time for another awkward dinner. Ah, good. Maybe someone will throw a pie or a chair. Wait, no, I've read this chapter before. I would have remembered that. Instead, we get some grade A passive aggression. Tamlin sits at the head of the table expectantly, waiting for Feyre and Lucian to return from their illicit affair. His piercing eyes seem to ask where they've been, and oh yeah, haha, Feyre blew off Tamlin to go hang out with Lucian. Whew. Lucian says they've been on a hunt. Tamlin glares and asks if they had fun and caught anything. But it's not like he's jealous or anything. Lucian coughs and changes to another tense subject. He reports that the bogey was in the forest today and that it must have snuck in through the border. Tamlin's claws jut out and destroy the fork in his hand as he asks where they found it. Lucian responds and Tamlin abruptly stalks out. He's the only one capable of killing the B-movie fiend. Tamlin's more of a Pixar guy anyway. Feyre's like, well shit. To think a guy that powerful served me food yesterday. I had no idea anyone could face down that kind of immortal horror. But hey, it's not my problem. Well, ain't gonna stop me from having my fill now. Nom 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 nom. Guess she no longer feels guilty for the horse and farming supplies she could have bought from selling those fancy plates. That was a concern for yesterday Feyre. Present day Feyre minds her business. She returns to her room, food baby in her belly. She sharpens her stolen knife with the rock she happened to swipe from the gardens and waits for Tamlin to return, just to see if he really could survive a bogey brawl. She's about to give up and go to bed when something in the bushes catches her attention. She faces the window and makes eye contact with him. But it's not Tamlin. No, he's hunched over and hobbling. It's her father! Dun dun dun! End of chapter. First thing Feyre does upon spotting her father is to gather her shit and bundle up. It is time to scram. I mean, surely her father has somehow come to save her. Hopes are up. But considering what Alice warned Feyre about needing to keep her wits about her, I have a bad feeling about this. Which is good, because I need something to happen, so let's watch this girl suffer. She sneaks out the window and finally asks the question I already pondered a moment ago. How had he even gotten here? Feyre says her father hobbles with a surprising swiftness toward another gate that faces the dark forest beyond. She's like, maybe he's got horses hidden deeper in. Yeah, okay, this is a doppelganger or something. Got it. Her dad turns back and motions for her to hurry. Feyre's heartbeat races with each step closer to freedom, and Tamlin's hand grabs her arm. Busted before she could possibly fall into some trouble. Damn. His claw pokes through her bundled layers, and she pleads for her father, but he growls, of course, and tells her to look again. The thing before her shapeshifts into a string of objects and people from Feyre's memory. And, well, what do you know? Tamlin scolds about how Feyre should have kept her wits about her, as there are dangerous creatures laying about, waiting and willing to eat her. Duh. Feyre's like, well, what did you expect from me finding my dad out here? Even if you say you're taking care of my family, you expect me to gladly stay here forever for the sake of some treaty that apparently favors your side? I want to go home! Tamlin seems appalled that she's choosing her miserable human existence to this. Way to bury the lead there, Tamlin. Go ahead, qualify your so-called this. He doesn't. Then Feyre informs him of the vow she made to her dying mother. In order to keep it through hunting to feed her family, she has been forced to break it. But Tamlin assures her that staying here fulfills that oath. They're better cared for now than when she was there. Okay, I already doubted this whimsical charity case, but now I know something fishy's afoot. Feyre continues to doubt Tamlin. He still asserts that they are cared for, fed, and comfortable. He has to repeat his words a few times before they sink in and she accepts it. Wait, what? She's like, I guess he has a point. Maybe everyone really is better off this way, and I am still keeping my promise to Mom this way. No, I can't believe this. 2 days in Fairyland and her resolve utterly collapses into apathetic acceptance? Page 98 out of 400 something, and Feyre from page 1 is completely gone without even needing to go through that pesky thing called character development? Great. Hello, Maxim, my old friend. I mean, there's also the possibility that Tamlin wants to break down her guard for some nefarious purpose. Unlike Feyre, I still don't completely vibe with these overpowered hunk of men. For Feyre's fortitude to so easily and quickly crumble when she's supposed to be this cynical, cautious character? No, not like this, man. Not like this. Someone, please, pass me the hypercopium. Feyre questions Tamlin for some exposition like she's previously done with Lucian, but it doesn't have the same weight to it now that her conviction has deflated and she's no longer getting intel for a purpose. Yeah. I haven't processed this bummer of a turn, yet Feyre has already moved on. But we still have to exposit for character and world building, and the only way this book knows how to do that is through direct questioning. Girl, give me a break. So yeah, Tamlin was raised to be a warrior, and he took up his current mantle due to extenuating circumstances. She keeps the questions flowing. All hints of past bitter prejudices have evaporated. In the span of a page, Feyre seems to have gone through a whole ass arc. The Fae here are good now, actually. This is unfortunate, and the book's not letting me sit with my feelings, and it won't stop dumping lore on me. At least it was more tactful in the earlier chapters. How can a book drop in quality when the hero steps into the realm of the mystical? This is so backwards. I'm sorry. I'm bitter right now. The fact I'm only 24% in and am already feeling a crushing blow does not bode well for me. Nyeh. Feyre asks another string of questions about the kind of fae that prowled the area and what had almost spirited her away just now. Well, it's a puka, which draws from their target's desires, lures them out, and eats them. Tamlin's lands used to be better guarded, but that ding-dang-dong blight had weakened barriers, so the forests are especially unsafe at night. Everything is different now. Scene break, and yep, Feyre reconciles with her fate. Over the next 3 days, Feyre has joined Lucien on patrols. During that time, she's never fired an arrow. She almost did once at a healthy-looking doe. Tamlin even sneered that it wasn't a fairy, but she backed down. Hunting never was her hobby after all. Tamlin's been pursuing the bogey day and night. After day 3, Feyre notices Lucien appearing concerned. When pressed on it, he says how Tamlin prefers to hunt alone and will get into these brooding moods even after he's completed his task, implying that Tamlin won't share his burden with anyone. One doesn't attain power without a firm hand. Feyre perceives a loneliness in this, and it bothers her. Scene break, and we're in a dream sequence done through Italics Vision. Ah shit, didn't think I'd ever get to whip that one out in another series. Bless. So, Feyre's in a lot of snow and senses a shadow prowling behind her. But she can't turn around and check cause the wolf stands before her in a clearing, just watching, menacingly. Dream Feyre has no control over herself as she fires an arrow into the wolf. It falls onto the snow as a high fae. As his flayed body steams against the snow, Feyre holds his skin in her hands and cut to her jolting up. The dream, it haunts the back of her mind. True regret plagues her in the dead quiet of night. End of chapter. I'm still bummed. I knew partway in that it most likely wouldn't be her dad, but I'm not a fan of the direction the story decided to take in that moment. It's like it just sucked out all the vigor it had left. I ask this in complete sincerity. What's the point of this story? Are the next 300-ish pages going to be slice of life with maybe some occasional hee-hee-hoo-hoo bad time stuff? Blightiness sprinkled in to prevent this from being classified as a cozy fantasy romance? I'm just at a loss for the moment. I can't imagine how I would have been if this was the point I originally stopped reading. It probably would have been a lot harder to find reason to pick it up again. I got nothing left to say. Can only wiggle my butt, devoid of all further thoughts. Shaka shaka, shaka shaka shaka.